Hello everybody, welcome to the Impressive Channel. The Billboard charts released their top songwriters of 2018, and the list included artists like Drake, Ed Sheeran, Post Malone, Tekashi 6ix9ine, which I am raising my brow at, and Cardi B, surprisingly. Now, when I first saw this list, I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit because there are a few names on this list that I'm questioning, but it is what it is. Now, Cardi B, of course, was criticized the most because it's a known fact that she has writers, and one person on Twitter actually tweeted this: "I had it up to here with this BS. Now, one thing that she got a Grammy, but you are kidding me, Billboard. How is Cardi on this list? And she doesn't write anything. She admitted to having teams of writers, so how did she make top songwriter? Really? Stupidity. This is a joke now." Now, Cardi must have been searching for this tweet because she happened to find it, and she did respond and say this: "Because I do write a lot of my stuff. That's the thing. Yes, just like every other artist, I do have a couple of writers that help with hooks. But I wrote plenty of songs on my album, especially my mixtape. Y'all just flip stuff and y'all want to believe this stuff so bad, but eat it up, B." Now, Cardi B said that she wrote plenty of songs on her album Invasion of Privacy. And this is the album that's being honored by the Billboard charts. Now, I have an issue with her saying that she writes the songs while she has a couple of writers writing her hooks. That's kind of a slap in the face to her main writer, Pardison. There's this guy named Pardison Fontaine. His government name is Jordan Thorpe. And it was revealed that he was the one writing a lot of Cardi's music, okay? In fact, on every single song on Invasion of Privacy, his name is listed. Now, the interesting thing about songs today is a lot of people can get credited for writing on a song for basically doing the bare minimum, okay? They could switch up a word, they could switch up a melody or a syllable or something, and automatically they get credits for a song. But just because they're listed as writer on the song does not always mean they actually wrote the song from scratch. For example, there's a song that Cardi B has called Be Careful. Be Careful was a sample of Lauryn Hill's song X Factor. And there were a lot of people who were credited on this song, but the person who actually wrote Cardi B's verses was Pardison. Pardison's reference track was leaked, and people found out that he was the one who wrote the song. Pardison has contributed a lot to Cardi B's career, and he has written a lot of songs for her. So it's odd that Cardi B would go on Twitter and say that he just helps her with hooks, when in reality, he's the one who writes her actual verses. Now, Cardi B might contribute here and there to a song. I'm not gonna downplay what she does, but Pardison is the one creating the content. He sometimes comes up with the catchy hooks. He creates the bars. He also creates the flow. He's the one doing this, at least for the album Invasion of Privacy. Now, for the music outside of that, who knows? Maybe Cardi B does write it. I believe that she wrote some of the songs on her mixtape. I do know Pardison was also working with Cardi B during that time as well. So who knows? Who knows? But I do think it's kind of interesting that Cardi B is now trying to defend her pen game. She's trying to say that she writes now, which I find it funny because when she was called out for using a writer before, she really didn't care. She never came out and defended herself and said, "I do write my music." She never did that. But this is what she would say when someone brought up the fact that she did not write her music.
Pardison is a big part of the song. You know, I heard the record and I was like, I want that record for me. So you know, I flicked it. I made it to a girl version. I don't give a ghostwriter, co-writer. I don't give a What you need to do is ask your favorite rappers about their ghostwriters, huh?
I don't really give a about being lyrical. I don't give a about this and that. If that shit don't work for me, I don't care. I like to make shit that's gonna make me money. I want to make money.
This is the thing. People want to make it seem like, oh, hip-hop is about writing. No, hip-hop is about living that life. Because when you're a little girl, these little girls don't know if people write their music or not. These little boys don't give a about if these write their music or not. Hip-hop is about living what you talk about. I don't think it's entertainment. And I live everything that I rap about. Everything that I said, I motherfucking did. He said, all these rappers not writers. Even the ones that they say they don't, they're lying.
If you didn't hear what she said, yeah, I co-wrote Be Careful. And she basically said all your favorite rappers got writers, whether they admit to it or not. And she also said it doesn't matter if she wrote a song or not, she's going to get paid regardless. Also, there was another instance where Cardi B responded to somebody who claimed she had a writer. This person said, "Oh, shut up, you just mad that people, including your fans, didn't like the song. And that we found your ghostwriter. Cardio, go back to the drawing board, sis. I don't respect you no more. Shake my head." And Cardi said, "You think I'm mad? Laugh my tail off. It's #1 on iTunes charts, right? It's #7 on Apple Music, right? Me and Partisan getting paid while we sleep and achieving stuff. Now, why you mad at me and why are you mad at your life?" So you saw in this tweet, Cardi said her ghostwriter's name out loud, Partisan. And technically, he's not her ghostwriter, he's actually her writer because he is getting credits on her songs. So this is how Cardi B would respond anytime people would bring up the fact that she did not write her music. So it's interesting to now hear her change her tune when people bring up the fact that she does not write. Now she's starting to claim that she writes, and I really think it's because of the pressure that she's receiving from other people. And let's be honest, it doesn't really matter if Cardi B has a ghostwriter, but the fact that she kind of boasted about it made people kind of lose respect for her, and it kind of showed people that she doesn't really take her craft seriously. She doesn't really care about hip hop or respect this art form, and she looks at rapping as just another hustle. But there are some other people coming up in the game who are taking their craft seriously. They're writing their music, they're rapping, they're freestyling, they're showing people that they're passionate about what they do, and they're getting respect for that. And I think that Cardi B is now feeling the pressure. She's now feeling a little threatened. So she now feels the need to say that she writes her music because she wants those credibility points. She has some real competition coming up right now, and they're actually being respected for their craft. So she wants that respect too. But in order to gain respect, you have to earn respect. Since Cardi wants to be seen as a writer, she really has to prove it now because she's already been on record saying that she doesn't care about writing, and she even laughed at the fact that she uses a writer, and she justified it by saying other rappers have ghostwriters too. So Cardi B has made herself look guilty of not writing. From now on, when she says that she writes, people won't believe her because of the statement she made. So at this point, I don't think it's necessary for her to go online saying that she writes her music because we all know that she gets a lot of help. And she's going to have to go through the process of proving herself. She's going to have to do freestyles. She's going to have to show herself writing in the studio. If she really wants to be seen as a writer, she's now going to have to go above and beyond to prove that. And honestly, I don't think she's going to do that. She wants the accolades, she wants the praise and glory, but does she want to put the work in? That's the question. So she has to put the work in at this point. If she wants to be seen as a writer, she has to prove it. There's so many rappers out there who had to prove themselves. They had to prove that they could write. They had to prove that they could freestyle. They had to do all of that. No one is exempt from this process. So if Cardi B wants to be seen as a writer, she has to prove it, period. And honestly, I don't think it's necessary for her to really be seen as a writer because people don't look at Cardi B as a lyricist. They look at her as an entertainer. Cardi B is a great performer. She knows how to put on a show. She has a lot of hits under her belt. And she has kind of established herself in hip hop as an entertainer, not necessarily a writer. So in my opinion, she doesn't need to feel pressed to be seen as a writer because we all know she uses writers. So it's kind of pointless. And unless she's ready to prove to people that she writes, she might as well just be quiet about it and keep collecting her coins. That's how I look at it. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.